ॐ सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। अस्तु. Welcome you all to the 4-month course of Sangeetharatnakara of Sharngadeva, offered by Arsha Seva Kendram. This is not a deep dive into the subject. This is only an overview. And before commencing my sessions, I'd like to pray to my teachers who have shaped me to be able to offer something to the society. Srimati M.K. Kanakalakshmi, who was my first music teacher, and Srimati Leelavati Krishnamurthy, who has been an eternal support for me in Sanskritam. I would also like to thank Dr. Jayakumar Mahodaya for helping us to do our bit of seva through Arsha Seva Kendram. So, Indian music is celebrated for its rich diversity, deep spiritual roots, vibrant contemporary evolution, and Sangeetharatnakara, composed in the 13th century by Sharngadeva, who was a great scholar in multiple shastras also. And he was a court musician under King Singhana of the Yadava dynasty in Devagiri, which is situated in present-day Maharashtra. So, why did he give the title Sangeetharatnakara? What is understood by Sangeetharatnakara? Can anybody tell me?
Oh, Sangeeta, the ocean. The ocean. Ratnakara is ocean, right? So Sangeetam is an ocean from which we can get a lot of gems.
Yes. So here, if we go to Amarakosha, that Varivarga, there all the synonyms we can see. Samudrobdhira Kuparaha, Paravara Saritpatihi, Udanvan Udadhi Sindhuhu, Sarasvan Sagaropamaha, Ratnakaro Jalanidhihi, like that it goes. So Ratnakara, it literally means it's a mine of precious stones, you can see. So that way, Sangeetam is an ocean of so many gems and precious stones. That is what is understood by this title. And when we look at the other, beyond India, if we look at how the various Western or Chinese or any other nation, whether they have done anything about music, we come to understand that Sangeetharatnakara of Sharngadeva stands exemplary, you can see. There is, when we look at the Islamic world or we look at the Western world, it is more of mathematical precision and not much attention is paid to the raga or integrating dance into this. And if we look at Chinese works, it will be more towards rituals or things like that. So we understand that Sharngadeva, his work is a unique work which composes, which is a composite of Gita, Vadya, and Nritta. So it is revered in both Hindustani and Carnatic traditions. The branches came out later, and this work is referred to as Saptadhyayi because this work contains 7 chapters. Then, what are the chapters in Sangeetharatnakara? It is Swaragatadhyayah, Ragavivekadhyayah, Prakirnakadhyayah, Prabandhadhyayah, Taladhyayah, Vadyadhyayah, and then Nartanadhyayah. So, what are we going to do here? We are going to touch upon the various important aspects of each of these chapters. And Sangeeta Ratnakara, as it was composed during the 13th century, whether we had any texts before that, if we look at any texts before that, many people had done a lot of work. But why he stands alone? And what is the relevance of Sangeeta Ratnakara in today's world? So, Sharngadeva, first of all, he integrates dance and then shows the holistic view of performing arts in Indian tradition. Then, its relevance in today's world means it helps Indian music, helps in performing artists, helps in scholarly research, and then it is also revered revered not only by Indians, but it has a lot of prominence outside India also. Then how he starts, how he develops the subject, that itself is also quite interesting. So, India being an experiential or performative knowledge, because we don't believe in only calculations or rhythm or anything. Ours is a system. It's a culture of experience. We try to experience the inner beauty of whatever Shastra explains to us. Thus, there is rasa, bhava, and so many other things involved in Indian music. As Dr. Premalata Sharma says, Bharata, if you look at the letters Bharata, it is Bhava, Raga, and Tala. Then, from where did Sharngadeva come? First of all, who is Sharngadeva? He is Krita Guru Pada Sevaha, serving his preceptor, Prenita Shesha Devaha, adoring the worshipful, Kalita Sakala Shastraha, having learned all Shastras, Pujita Shesha Patraha, respected by all, Jagati Vitata Kirtihi, having widespread fame, Manmathodara Murtihi, great charismatic personality, Prachuratara Vivekaha, with sharp intellect, Sharngadevaha, I am Ekaha. The Sharngadeva is unique. He says, in this world, there is no other person who has done such a great work. That is the confidence with which he speaks about his work. Then he also says about Saraswati, Nana sthaneshu sambhranta parishranta Saraswati sahavasa priya shashvat vishramyati tadalaye. So what happened? Saraswati, she was bewildered and tired of roaming around in search of great Shastra being talked about, and desirous of his association, Saraswati found a permanent residence here. That's what he says. And from Tasmat Dugdhambudhehe Jataha, from the heavenly ocean of milk, that was Sharangadeva's father, Sodhala, was born the producer of nectar, that is the moon, Sudhakara. And Sharangadeva, who is able to provide the rays of whose righteous generosity spread wide upon all. So that kind of greatness is there in his work. That is what he feels. And when we look at the lineage of Sharangadeva, he himself talks about his family, their origin, and being traced back to Kashmir. He belonged to this Vrishagana. That was the Gotra, and then Tatra Bhut Bhaskara Prakhya. So one Bhaskara who migrated to the south. Bhaskara's son was Sodhala. This Shri Sodhalaha Praudhadhihi, he says. He was a great scholar in many Shastras, Sharangadeva's father, Sodhala, and he was patronized by King Singhana. This Singhana ruled Devagiri from 1210 AD to 1247 AD. And from that Sodhala, this Sharangadeva Sudhakara has come. Then, when we look at the hierarchy of teachers or Sharangadeva's predecessors, he talks about from the times of origin, Sadashivaha, Shiva, Brahma, Bharataha, Kashyapo Munihi, Matangaha, Yashtikaha, Durga Shaktihi, Shardula Kohalau. So all these people, so many people have come in this lineage, hierarchy of teachers and musicologists, musicians, whatever we want to call them, we can call. And there is Anjaneya, Ravana, Nandikeshwara, so many people. And he also says these Rudrata, then Bhojaraja, all these people, they were Vyakhyataraha of Bharata's Natya Shastra. So they also contributed to the Indian music system. Then, definition of Sangeetam is given. Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrittam Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. So he says there are in the hierarchy of teachers Anyecha Bahavaha Purve Ye Sangeeta Visharadaha Agadha Bodhamanthena Tesham Matapayonidhim. From that huge works of all these experts of Sangeeta Shastra, I have churned out whatever is required, whatever is the essence, that Nirmathya Sharngadevaha Sarodharamimam Vyadhat. So he says, Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrittam Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. So, Geetam, this Gai Shabde is the dhatu, vocal melody, you can call it. Then Vadyam, playing instruments. And then Nrittam, to dance. All these together, they are called Sangeetam. So here, Vadyam, for Vadyam also, I think Vadi, Nyat Pratyaya, something comes, I think. Vad Vyaktayam Vachi. Tatra Vadi iti Atideshika Dhatu, I think. Anantaram, Tatra again, Sangeetam is divided. Margo Deshiti Tadvedha Tatra Margaha Sauchyate. Yaha Margitaha Virinchyadyaihi Prayuktaha Bharatadibhihi. Devasya Purataha Shambhoho Niyatabhyudaya Deshe Deshe Jananam Yadruchya Hridaya Ranjakam. There is a typo there. Hridaya Ranjakam should be there. Geetam cha vadanam nrittam taddeshi tyabhidhiyate. So he says, Sangeeta is twofold. One is Marga Sangeeta, another one is Desha Sangeeta. So that which was discovered by Brahma and first practiced by Bharata and others in the audience of Ishvara, Parameshvara, is Marga Sangeeta. Devasya Shambhoho Purataha. So in front of Parameshvara, Bharata and others performed this Marga Sangeeta. Marga can also be termed as the way. It is the only way, also you can say. Or it can be considered as classical. That also you can. Actually, Kalanidhi by Kallinatha gives this kind of explanation. Deshe Deshe Jananam Yat Ruchya Hridayaranjakam Geetam cha Vadanam Nrittam Taddeshi Tyabhidhiyate. So, Sangeeta, that is that which entertains entertains the people according to their tastes in different regions, is called Deshi Sangeeta. So, Nrittam Vadyanugam Proktam Vadyam Geetanuvarticha. So this dance is guided by Vadya. Then Vadya in turn is guided by vocal music. So that way, Geetam Vadyam Tatha Nrittam Trayam Sangeetam Uchyate. Then, why did he compose this Shastra? What is the importance or what are the special features of Sangeetam? So he says, Geetam pradhanatvat atra adau abhidhiyate. So he says, first of all, let me explain why it is important. Samavedadidam Geetam sanjagraha pitamaha. So, Geetena priyate devaha. So, this vocal music, Ishvara, is propitiated by Geetam. Then, Gopipatihi anantaha api vamshadhvani vasham gataha. Gopipati is Krishna, Lord Krishna, Lord of the Gopis. He was also enamored by the sound of the Venu, flute, bamboo flute. Sangeetharatnakara Brahma, Veena-sakta Saraswati, Kimanye Yakshagandharva Devadanava Manavaha. So when Brahma and Saraswati are so mesmerized by Samagana and then by Veena, what to speak of others such as Yakshas, Gandharvas, Devas, Danavas, Manava, human beings. Ajnata Vishayaswadaha Balaha Paryankikagataha Rudan Geetamritam Pitva Harshotkarsham Prapadyate. An infant crying in cradle, unaware of worldly pleasures or anything, he starts enjoying music immediately after tasting the nectar of that beautiful Geetam. Then Vanecharaha, Trinaharaha, Chitram Mrigashishuh Pashuhu, Lubdhaha, Lubdhaka Sangeete, Geete Yachati Jeevitam. An animal in a forest feeding on grass is attracted by the song of a hunter. So what happens? It is ready to sacrifice his life. So, tasya geetasya mahatmyam ke prashamsitumishate. Who indeed can describe the grandeur of music, melody? So, dharmartha kama mokshanam idam eva eka sadhanam. So, here he says, why music? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, for everything. This is the only tool, you can say. And when we look at the general scheme and style of work, how he has, why he has done, and what are the objectives with which he has done this work. So, to liberate, first thing is to liberate everyone from three kinds of pain. So we all know Adhibhautika, Adhyatmik, Adhidaivika, Adhyatmika. So Adhibhautika is Sharirasya Athava Bhautika Dukkham. So Sharirasya Rogaha or some physical problems, whatever we face in this world, they come under Adhibhautika. Then Adhidaivika, like the divine intervention, you can say, like Ativrishtihi, Bhukampaha, all these things. Adhyatmika. So many times what happens, we are unable to think of the divine, and we are unable to meditate upon the divine. That happens when our manas, buddhi, they are not in our control. So he says, I have done this work to tapatraya jihirshaya, akhila lokanam tapatraya jihirshaya. I want to give everybody happiness and make people move towards the divine with this work. We talk about Nada yoga and all those things, no? So all these things he has discussed. And to uphold the eternal dharma, Shashvataya dharmaya. Yaha dharmaha kalatitaha sarvakalikaha sarvasamanyaha cha. There is no other way and dharma is the only way to move forward. That is what he says. And then for obtaining fame, kirtyai. So here many of us, many of you have who has read Alankara Shastra, who has gone through Mammata's works, they will know Kavyam Yashase Arthakrite Shivetarakshataya Sadyah Paranirvritaye Kanta Sammitatayopadesha Yuje. So, what does Mammata say here? Kavyam. A kavya is composed for what? Yashas. Success. Arthakrite, to earn money. Shivetarakshataya, all amangalakara activities can be, or the effects of negative activities will become nil. And then Sadhyaha Paranirvrate, that momentary happiness, when you read a kavya, you get a lot of happiness that is possible with a good kavya. And then Kanta Sammitataya Upadesha Yuje, he says. So, there is, they say, no, Prabhu Samhita, Mitra Samhita, Kanta, Prabhu Samhita, Kanta Samhita, and Mitra Samhita. So, Prabhu Samhita is like Vedas. Vedas say, do this, don't do. Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, it will say. And Kanta will say, whatever beloved, she would try to convince her husband with a lot of love. So that is Kanta Samhita. Third category is Mitra Samhita. A friend will say, like kavyas. When we read kavyas, the kind of knowledge we get, that is Mitra Samhita. So kavyas act as Mitra, friends. So here, for Kirti, people should read Sangeetharatnakara. That's what Sharnadeva says. And ultimately achieving liberation. Nishreya Saptaye, Mukti Sadhanaya. And with Nadopasana, one can liberate himself through spiritual emancipation. That's what is the ultimate goal of human life. Then, what is the focus area of Sangeetharatnakara? It is delineation of Sangeeta, which is the composite of Gita, Vadya, and Nritta. Then, when we look at the importance of Indian music, Sangeetam, in the context of Indian knowledge landscape, as you all are aware, our knowledge system is broadly classified into Paravidya, Aparavidya, and Kala. This Paravidya is also called Brahma Vidya or Nyasa Vidya. There are 32 branches in this Paravidya. And then Paravidya is the experiential knowledge gained through dhyana, tapas, japa, whatever one is able to practice. So through that, people attain this ultimate goal. Then it also culminates in self-realization, and the Upanishads talk more about this Paravidya. When we look at the Aparavidya, it is also known as Jnana. This is classified into Chaturdasha Vidyasthanani, 14 Vidyasthanas according to Vyasa. And later on, another 4 were added. And this Aparavidya is pure science. Kala is the applied science, it has 64 branches: medicine, engineering, sculpture, and many other things come under this category. So, when we look at the levels of learning, Anubhava leads to Upasana. Upasana leads to Paravidya. Then Adhyayanam leads to Jnanam. Jnanam leads to Aparavidya. Abhyasa leads to Kala, that is Kaushalam, expertise, Kala Kaushalam. And then there are Chatushashti Kalaha, 64 arts, you can say. And experience Anubhava is as Anubhava leads us to Upasana, and Upasana leads to Paravidya, meditation, you can say, meditation or japa or tapas, whatever you want to call it. Adhyayanam leads to Jnanam, and Jnanam leads to Aparavidya. Then Abhyasa leads to Kala, Kala leads to 64 Chatushashti Kala. Then how do we arrive at Ashtadasha Vidya Sthanani? As you all know, there are 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, 4 Upangas. Added to that, 4 Upavedas are additionally, they also contribute to the Aparavidya. Anyhow, we don't talk about Paravidya because our goal here is about Sangeetam, which comes under the Aparavidya. So, 4 Vedas are Rig, Yajus, Sama, Atharva Vedaha. Then there are 6 Vedangas. They are Shiksha, Vyakaranam, Chandas, Niruktam, Kalpaha, Jyotisham. So, Shiksha and Vyakaranam, they deal with the pronunciation and then phonetics and then grammar, Vakya Nirmanam, and the other aspects of language. And then Niruktam is, which was, and this Shiksha and Vyakaranam were composed by Maharshi Panini. Nirukta was composed by Yaskacharya. It is the etymology and semantics of Vedic literature. So these auxiliary disciplines were made available to the people to understand the Vedas better and follow the Vedic way of life. And Chanda Shastra by Rishi Pingala talks about prosody and meter, poetical meter. And then Jyotisha deals with astronomy and astrology. The pioneer in this field was Rishi Lagadha. And then Kalpa deals with Vedic rituals. And Apastamba, Bodhayana, all such people were, they contributed enormously to this. And when we talk about Upangas, there are 4 Upangas: Mimamsa, Nyaya Vistaraha, Puranam, then Dharma Shastra. Mimamsa again is divided into Purva and Uttara. Purva Mimamsa deals with the ritual aspect, Karma Kanda. The Jaimini Maharshi was the pioneer in this. And Uttara Mimamsa talks about the Jnana Kanda. It is Vyasa Maharshi has been the main authority. He composed the Brahma Sutras. And when we go to Nyaya Vistaraha, Nyaya and that you can say logic and reasoning, Gautama and Kannada were the key players here. And then Purana and Itihasas. They were Puranas were compiled by Rishi Vyasa. Again, Puranas were gigantic work codified. It was huge, and Vyasa codified everything. And then Dharma Shastras handed over to us by Manu, Yajnavalkya, and others. And as when we look at Yajnavalkya or Vyasa, what they are saying, Purana Nyaya Mimamsa Dharma Shastranga Mishritaha Vedaha Sthanani Vidyayaha Dharmasya Chaturdasha. So, when how do we come to music, Indian music, Sangeetam, added to this Aparavidya? Here, Vishnu Puranam talks about Ayurvedaha, Dhanurvedaha, Gandharvaha, Chaiva, Te Trayaha, Arthashastram Chaturtham tu Vidyahi, Ashtadashaivata. So, it says Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Arthashastram are four more branches that come under the Aparavidya. Here, Ayurveda is the science of life, or it is the science of knowledge of life, you can say. Charaka was the father of Ayurveda. Then Dhanurveda, when you look at Dhanurveda, science or art of warfare, you can say. And Bharadwaja Rishi was the pioneer in this. Gandharva Veda is the science or art of music, knowledge of music derived from Samaveda itself. So Brahma, Shiva, all these people, we have seen how the hierarchy is mentioned by Sharngadeva. And then Arthashastra, science of economic policy or statecraft or political science, whatever we want to call it, everything related to military strategy and all those things. And Kautilya was the pioneer in this. Thus, we have arrived at Aparavidya, Veda, 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, 4 Upangas, and then 4 Upavedas. Then, when we look at the framework of Ashtadasha Vidya Sthanani, where does Indian music fit in? Can we consider this as a kala, or is it Aparavidya, or is it Paravidya? All of us love music, Sangeetam, as an art. And we also know that Sangeetam is one of the Chatushashti Kalaha, along with dance, painting, sculpture, whatever. So it needs skill, kaushalam, to be a good performer of this art. That way, Sangeetam is a part of Kala, applied science. Then, when we look at the origin of Sangeetam, it is traced back to Samaveda. And from Samaveda emerged the Gandharva Veda. Thus, it becomes a part of Aparavidya, or pure science. And in the field of spiritual anatomy, Nada Yoga occupies a prominent place, and one can experience highly evolved state of spirituality through practicing Sangeeta sadhana as a tapas. So Nad is the dhatu, root word, avyakte shabde. So listening deeply to various vibrations in and around us is Nadopasana. And I remember when I was in my college days, I used to go to one yoga class. There, that teacher used to tell us some sort of meditation they made us practice. Of course, I don't remember now. So there, many people experienced that sounds of mridangam, veena, and various musical instruments within their body actually. So that kind of nadopasana is also possible with, that kind of experience we can get through nadopasana. So that way, Sangeetam can be a part of Kala, can be a part of Jnana, Aparavidya, can also be a part of Upasana. So Kala leads to Jnana, Jnana leads to Paravidya. Kala leads to Aparavidya, Aparavidya leads to Paravidya. So beautiful. Then when we come to the discussion of Sangeetharatnakara, we already talked about the Grantha having 7 chapters called Adhyayas, grammatically termed as Saptadhyayi, Saptanam Adhyayanam Samahara. And each chapter dealing with nuances related to Sangeetam. The first among the 7 chapters is Swaragatadhyayaha. And then this chapter is again divided further into prakaranas or sections. 8 sections are there in the first chapter, Swaragatadhyaya. Each section is named after the topic that is going to be discussed. And first prakarana is Padartha Sangraha Prakarana. Second one is Pindotpatti Prakarana. Third one is Nada Sthana Shruti Swara Jati Kula Daivata Rishi Chanda Rasa. All these topics are discussed in the third prakarana. Fourth prakarana is Grama, Murchana, Krama, Sthana prakarana. And here Grama is, many of you might be knowing because you all come from the music background. So there are this Madhyama Grama, Gandhara Grama, Shadja Grama. 3 gramas are talked about in Indian music. Then Sadharana Prakaranam. So this Sadharana Prakaranam, before that, when we go to this Pindotpatti Prakaranam, Padartha Sangraha is only a collection of categories. Different categories are there, and he mentions about that. And then Pindotpatti Prakaranam talks about the embryological development, anatomy of sound production, and then manifestation of cosmic energy through human body. So it is so beautiful actually. He has that means he has had the knowledge of Ayurveda also and yoga also. So many topics he is able to bring into a nutshell, you can say. And he talks about how an embryo develops in the mother's womb and in different stages. What are the different stages of its development? All those things are beautifully narrated. All those things we will discuss in the next upcoming sessions. And the third prakarana is Nada Sthana Shruti Swara. And this talks about Nada is fundamental vibration, you can say. Sthana, place of sound production. Then Shruti, microtone. And then Swara is musical tone. Jati is pre-raga melodic structures. So beautiful. Then Kula is group of ragas specific in certain areas, and then Daivata, presiding deity for each note or each raga, all those things. Then Rishi, who is the spiritual seeker, to whom that raga or that swara was revealed. And then Chandas. Chandas is the meter, poetic meter used in various compositions. And then rasa, aesthetic appeal. Without aesthetic appeal, nothing is attractive for us. So he has discussed about the aesthetics in Sangeetam. And then grama, this I have told you, primary scales, you can say. And then Murchana is the process of shifting the tonic and creating a new melodic framework, which will be discussed later. And then Sthana refers to physical location of sound production in the body. Mandra, Madhya, Tara, Atitara, Atimandra, so many pitch registers, you can say. Then Sadharana Prakaranam. What is the Sadharana? It acts as a bridge between technical theory and practical application. So this is like the foundation stone. Before entering the ornate temple of Raga, Tala, and Rasa. Music as a universal language, Sadharana. Music is universal. So everybody likes music. Very rarely people don't like music. Any form of music is appreciated by most of the people in the world. So the music as a universal language, Sadharana, transcends regional and stylistic boundaries, you can say. Then Varnalankara Prakarana. What does it deal with? Rich technical and aesthetic section, which covers the ornamental aspects of melodic movement. That is Varnalankara. And Gamaka, Kampita, Ullasita, so many strokes are there. All those things will be discussed there. And these are the tools through which the musician breathes life into sound. Otherwise, it's only noise production, isn't it? Many times what happens, some of the people singing, we enjoy so much. And some people keep struggling and we don't enjoy that. That is because the artist, the musician, is unable to bring that inner beauty to his presentation. Then Jati Prakaranam, ancient melodic structures, topics like Aroha, Avroha, and Graha, Nyasa, all those things, Sampurna, Shadava, Udava, all those topics are discussed there. And Rasa also is discussed. Geeti, according to Sharngadeva, Gita is not just sound. It is the soul in motion. He says, through Geeti, the performer becomes a vehicle for divine expression, blending technical mastery with emotional depth. So I think we will stop here today because I have bored you enough, and let us take up this in the next sessions.
Mahodaya.
So,
Mahodaya.
Yes.
Rukmini here.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Oh, you didn't bore us. I think it was so exciting. I'm so happy that you're back teaching us, and this topic is just so beautiful, when we learned music many years ago, we heard something called Shishurveti Pashurveti Veti Gana Panagana.
Yes.
It's so true. We have seen it in personal experience, newborn babies responding to ragas like Shubhabantavarali, crying when that
Yes.
raga was sung, and then immediately Kalyani is sung, that child stops crying. So it is, and to think that there is so much science behind it, and somebody has, thought of organizing it and giving it to us in such a beautiful form. It's amazing. And I am so thankful that, 2 years ago, you talked about doing Sangeetharatnakara-An.
I was planning and I
Yeah,
couldn't do
God has
actually.
guided you, and then, He has brought us into within your realm to enjoy this. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Any questions? Sumitra raised hand.
This is Janaki. Thank you so much for
Sumitra herself is a great scholar. I don't know why she comes to these classes. Huh?
No, that's too much to me. I'm not a scholar. I'm a student after all. Thank you so much for the brilliant session. You have organized it in a very nice way, like how it has to be. Thank you so much for that. I just have one query. So in the last slide that you showcased right now, what does the term Murchana typically means? Because I always thought it is the Arohanam and Avarohanam as Murchana, but looks like it's a little of a misunderstanding from my side. Whereas you put that in some other place, in some other section. Can you please explain that if you could?
Can we take it up in the next session? Actually, it takes more time and we will. Actually, I didn't forgot about this Mangala Shloka also. That itself is huge. First of all, I don't know whether people with Sanskritam background come or not. So I didn't touch that Mangala Shloka.
Yes.
In the next session, I would like to do the Mangala Shloka and then take up the further topics.
Sure.
We will definitely discuss about whatever knowledge I have that I can share. So if I make mistakes, please do pardon me.
There a commentary for Sangeetharatnakara by any chance, or that itself is a commentary for the text before?
Commentary is this Kallinatha's Kalanidhi is there. Then Simhabhupala's, it is there. You can search for. I'll share the link along with the slides.
Thank you.
And Simhabhupala's work is there. Then they mention some Keshava who did some Vyakhyana Kaustubha, but I didn't see. I think maybe it's not available.
Okay.
And one Hindi Gangaram somebody has done. I don't know. That also I didn't get actually. I searched for it. So that is also not available. Maybe in these parts it's not available.
Understood. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Madam,
This is
namaste.
Janaki.
Namaste.
Myself, Pragal. So, first of all, thank you so much. Your slides were so beautiful and captivating in a nutshell. So, thank you so much for that. I had one request and one question. The request is that can you please go in detail with the Mangala Shloka in the next class if possible?
Yeah. We will do that.
That was one thing which I wanted to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
And the second thing is, a question is, you showed 3 books in comparison in, I think, one of your first or second slide, where one was a Chinese book and one was a Persian book.
Not the Chinese. One is Baghdad. Somebody.
A Muslim. There
Another
you have
one,
used one word called Makum.
Western this thing.
Probably. So there you had mentioned one word called Makum. And you have put model. Is it the same model we say today also, model shift? Because according to Bharata, through model shift only in the Apakrishya Marga we get our ragas. So he is also talking about the same concept there?
Yeah, I think so because I cannot definitely tell about this because I have
Okay.
not read those books.
Okay.
This
Okay.
itself is a huge task.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
I
But
guess
going
what she says
there,
is right. He talks about the same model. I mean, it's
yeah.
all about the same Bharata's system also.
Actually,
okay.
that's what I was wondering. In Western countries, no? Even small musicians are given so much of prominence, and museums are built in their names, and it is so well maintained. We have such a legacy, but we don't care for anybody. When we go to Tanjavur, it is so painful to see this Saraswati Mahal library. When we went there, I really felt bad. There is so much to showcase, no? Nothing is there, and all the time they are talking about that Raja who was there, Shaji, somebody, no?
Shahaji Maharaja.
So he went there. He brought some foreign people, and he gave a lot of importance to them. Only such books are kept there. Very painful. What to do? At least let us try to bring this out so that people know what is there, what is our treasure.
So,
And
we
what
have
is that?
1,000-year-old temples that are being neglected, looted. We just don't know how to take care of the treasures. We were handed our treasures and we are not taken care of them. That's all. I mean, it's generations not taken care of. And anyway, I know, as you said, whatever you can do that, but appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Janaki Mahodaya, do you have any
Yeah,
questions?
thank you. I am grateful and I have no words to express my gratitude for listening to you, to be part of this group, learning about this precious text. And there is a saying, they all say, when you have many, you won't find any. For the last point of description, when we have so much, we are surrounded, we are immersed in it, so we don't even appreciate that because it is all around us. I think that's a problem. That is a situation with the Indian heritage, Indian arts, Indian science, Indian knowledge, the entire everything.
Definitely.
And then I had one question about you talked about stan. I think one of the prakarana in the chapters, sections. I've heard the word thought for Hindustani music. I don't know Hindustani music. I know very little about it, but it's like a family of ragas that come under that thought or something. Is that what it is?
Maybe we
Is that
will
what?
discuss about. We will discuss
Yeah.
about it.
Okay. All right. I guess that's all I had to say. Thank you. I have no words. Thank you.
Namaste. It was a very fantastic class, and I was mesmerized. Please, I can see you have so much knowledge to share with us. So I'm so happy to know that.
All God's grace. Shargadeva's kripa, maybe. Okay. So let us wind up for today with Shanti Mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Harihi Om, Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha, Harihi Om.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः, नमो नमः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Meet again next week.